Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeebs here on a Thursday, welcoming you here to the Decomposer Lounge. How's it? All right, from my Patreon list that is starting to kind of rebuild again because people are coming back and joining. That's how you can support the channel. Patreon, cup of coffee, check out the headsets. Links are down below. Got that out of the way. Let's get on it. Monuments. I've heard this band quite a few times, and per this Patreon request, I actually listened to quite a bit of music, but wanted to focus in on this particular song, Nefarious. It's apparently their most recent release, and this is the one that I won't say his name. He doesn't have a nickname, so I won't say his name on from Patreon. Wanted me to check out, and I listened to it like 4 times. You know, this is like my twice baked session, but this is my quad baked session because I listened to it again and again and again because I was kind of enamored with the approach on the vocals and the intensity in the production. Also, something to check out and listen to is the riff and the mix. But most intriguing are the chords over the hook. But let's do this, you and I, me and you, us together right now. This is Monuments, Nefarious. All right. Where's my button? Button. Oh, I got to reset it because I listened to it because that's what I do. So stand by. All right. And I love that trippy lo-fi start. Okay, so after everything I said at the beginning to keep your ear on, they delivered on every aspect of that. First of all, let's just talk about the vocal performance and production on this. I don't know if it's the same performer that does the ripped, shredded, dark. God, there's another. What's the word everybody uses for that scream style? There's a couple words. Anyhow, the engineering technique and how they did what they did since the start, I guess very much, you know, based on what I remember listening to it already, is that they have such a stacked background or layered harmonies that are going on, or even in unison, as a matter of fact, even through the verses. But I don't know if it's an effect that they're throwing on his voice that's doing that hard left, hard right split in the harmonies. Or if it's like harmonized, you know, if it's pitch step down, which is an engineering technique, has nothing to do with his insane capabilities as a singer. What at the beginning when I said listen to the riff is really super intricate, but where they have it positioned in the mix does not make it an overbearing, because it can be, because that riff is so intricate that it could be overbearing if it was just nudged up, let's just say a quarter dB, that could have made or broke it for me, as far as like, oh, that's too much, I can't pull away from it and dig into the melody. So where they sunk the riff to me was paramount. It was perfect. Something else now because I don't know the band well, I don't know if there's a keyboard overdub or what's going on, but there sounds like there's a couple times that there's a glassy pad in the background, which could be achieved by guitars. But at the opening riff, there's another singular note, high end, you know, and it definitely sounds like guitar, but it's so intricate and so sick, but it's way back in there. And these are these really special things that songwriters and composers and arrangers and musicians and engineers, when they're putting together their tracks like this, they can kind of just place just a, you know, it's just like a, we'll call it Riff Bay instead of Salt Bay. That guy that does this thing, it's like Riff Bay, just a sprinkle, just a little bit of this and just a little bit of that. But that throaty, insane vocal performance that he just gave us in this last 20 seconds, fried vocals, that's I believe is what it's called. That was just so insane, just absolutely mental. Great rhythm, metric play there. I love that. All right, before we go on, that the bottom end tones, the art form of guitar tone production now has gone way beyond my capability of even wanting to understand anymore. in the sense where I just have to sit there and just go, damn, you know, people are spending insane amount of hours into defining certain points of the EQ spectrum that get these low strings to really still cut through and not lose any of their bottom end integrity, if that makes sense. I didn't mention in my last stop what I found so the word that I use a lot is approachable. What I find so approachable about this track on a broad, sound, on a broad listening possibility of bringing an outside audience through, is the melodic content during the chorus and the chord changes. Those chord changes in the chorus kind of open it up just a little bit and make it kind of accessible for those who want to hear a little bit more of hookable, if you would, kind of excuse me. Kind of performance. Something else I love that they're playing with all the time is cut time. So they were in regular time for the opening riff and in their verse, but then for their chorus, I believe the first time around they were in the cut time. And then this last chorus I think was in regular time, but now they just went back into this cut time thing. I love when bands do that. It really can take a song that's just kind of already killing it and just kind of give it that extra little people's elbow, if you would, rhythmically, by just changing that up. And to me, sometimes when you have cut time like this, but you still have such a mind-numbingly crushing riff that's still, and also a little bit of that meter dicking around there. I love that. This is a great part right here. I just love how they take this lo-fi like this. It's funny, I mean, for myself, how I like to key into a lot of things is by, you know, getting into the headspace of what it is that the producers, engineers, usually it could be the whole team, when they make these detailed decisions, how they open it up with that lo-fi kind of vibe and then closing it with the lo-fi kind of vibe. To me, that's like putting detail to the fact that they want to sew up this story, leave no open end to bring it that way. That's just the way I feel about it. And I, you know, reading the lyrics, I read a few times. It seems like I can't tell. This could be, I've learned many, many years ago, even before I started any of these channels, you know, that my interpretation, and I'm sure maybe you guys have done this before, interpretation of lyrics sometimes in no way means what it is that the lyricist may have written it. You know, sometimes you find out in an interview you thought it was about World War, and what it was the day that the guy stubbed his toe and, you know, sat on a broken bottle or something, you know. And so, but, you know, a lot of songs are really, lately I'm beginning to look more and more, since I'm doing these Twice Baked sessions, I'm looking more and more into lyrics and stuff, and a lot of these songs so much carry it seems like the anxiety of what's happening in today's world, and it's nothing new for artists to call out politics, changes in the world, the ugliness in the world, and so on, as well as joy and beauty and all the other things. But you know, I think metal and rock and stuff has that dubious distinction of being able to, like, you know, triple down, double down, triple down, quadruple down on the intensity of you know, emotional lyrics like this, because they can perform it with the same intensity that it's written. Did I make sense? I don't know. Anyhow, I love this track. As a matter of fact, before I did this, I picked up my guitar and I was kind of noodling around to it. And I know I know personally when I dig a track and I pick up my guitar and I noodle to it, and I lightly say noodle because I'm just, you know, a fair guitar player, but it's like I'm driven in here to go, man, this is great, man. I just want to, you know, just pretend. My air guitar. Anyhow, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Like usual, if you want to support, all the links are down below. Cup of coffee, Patreon, you know, drop a suggestion. You want to check out the headsets. All the links are down below. Thank you guys so much. Have a killer weekend. I'll see you next week. And I want to thank you know who from Patreon who suggested this. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.